Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video we are going to see how exactly conditional rendering will happen in a ReactJS component. So if you are new here, please consider subscribing so you won't miss any future content. Now let's start the video. Yes, so I'm in the practice component right now. Let's go to the components and let's create a folder here as conditional rendering. Okay, and inside that I'll create one file conditional.js. Okay, I'm just creating one simple component, and here what I'll do is I'll use RFCE, which is our one of the extension from VS Code. Okay, so you can see ES7 you can do here, and here it is. Okay, so it will provide the snippets for React, Redux, React Native. So these we can use, and if I do here RFCE, a React functional component, and enter, and it will directly create us a snippet of a component. Okay, and let's import this inside our app.js because that's our starting point for our application. So you can see here we have learned use effect as well in the last session or the last video. And let's import this here, and let's go back and let's see here where is our React application. Here it is. Okay, so we can see our conditional rendering component is coming here. Okay, now what is meant by conditional rendering? The first of all, okay, so right now you see I'm returning this particular div. Okay, there is no condition for this. What we can do in the React component is we can write if else condition, and based on the response we can show some content. Okay, so what I mean is, let me remove this, and here I'll say if user login. Okay, if it is true, let me create a variable first here, user login equal to true for now. Okay, to just show you guys. Okay, and here I'll create this, and return is the must thing. Okay, you have to have the return here. Okay, user is logged in. Okay, and else I'll do return again, and inside this one more div, uh, click here to login. Okay, so basically what we are doing here is we are returning or rendering our component based on some conditions. Okay, right now here you see our condition is if user login is true, then we have to show this user is logged in. Okay, and if it is if user is not logged in, then we have to show this click here to login. Okay, something like that. So let's go back. You can see right now it's user logged in. Let's make it a more dynamic process. Let me get the use state from our component here, and let me create a proper use state, user logged in comma set user login. Okay, and use state it will be false by default because user will not log in at the first. We have to make him log in. Okay, so let me close this. You can see here, click here to login. Let me do one thing in the app.js, so it should come into center class app, and let me remove this CSS which are from the basic snippet. Okay, now it's coming into the center. That's properly fine. Now what I will do is inside this div, wherever we are saying to login, here I'll create a button login. Okay, and here above I'll have one h2 tag, please login. Okay, so now you can see please login it's saying, and login button. Okay, so now what we have to do is I'll write one function here. Okay, handle login, and inside that what I am doing is I'm just making the value true. Okay, and this method or the function I'll call whenever I click on this function. Okay, on click and this method. Okay, and you see we have discussed in few videos back that you can directly provide the name. You don't need to call it. If you want to call it, then you have to have a arrow function at the start. Okay, this way. And when we have to do this way, if you have anything to provide, like you have to give a parameter or argument like 1 comma 2, something like this, okay. But if you don't have, you don't need to call it, just provide the name and it will take care of that, okay. Now let's refresh here, and now what will happen is, if I click here, it will going to show this particular thing, because it is making it true, means it is rendering this component. Let's see. You see, user is logged in saying, okay. So this is how we can use the conditional rendering in React.js. So this is a very simple method. You can do many onto this. Let's take example of this one more. So I'll have one more file where I'll say users.js, okay. So what I will going to do here is, we're going to call a API in useEffect, and till that time, whenever the data comes back, we'll show loading screen, okay. So that's the process we're going to do here, okay. So generally, if you see in the other application also, there will be a circular loading will be there, so that you can see whenever data is coming back, okay. Once the data is fetched properly in our system, then we'll show the data where whatever data is there, okay. So let me close this, and let's import into the app.js. I'll say users here, okay. Let me go back. Yeah, you can see users is coming here, okay. Now what we have to do is, we have to have use effect first, okay. And you can see, if I write use effect, you can see from here, if you click, it will auto import it as well, okay. Sometime it will happen, sometime you have to do it manually, okay. It's based on your VS code, okay, basically. So this is the basic template for use effect. And here what I will do is, I will have, first of all, I need to import Axios, because from using the Axios only we can fetch the data, okay. And here we can write Axios again dot get API, okay. So in the last video also we saw, there is one thing, one API, one server is there, okay, that you can see in the ping comment, and this is the /user where you can get the all user data, okay. So let me copy this. Let's go back here. Let's do this, and once it is done, I'll say dot then, and here it will be like a result here, I'll say, and I'll just console the result, okay. Simple. Or we can show it as well, it's up to us, okay. But now what are we doing here is, let me create a state, okay. First of all, is loading, I'll say, okay, and set is loading. So what it will do is, it will be basically true at the start, okay. Whenever it is true, we have to show loading. So what I will do is, after this use effect, I'll come here, I'll have if condition, I'll say is loading. Whenever it is true, I'll return a h1 tag as loading, okay, like this. We can have more designs and all for the loading. Right now I'm just showing this one, okay. Whenever this is false, it means it will going to show us users, okay. So let me just copy the other things as well, basically, which is this one, data, okay, because it will be very easy to display here, that's the reason, okay. Data state we have to create h1 tag, I'll say users, okay, and constant data comma set data use state, and it will be empty array, okay. Why empty array? Because we are going to get the data into array only from here, okay. So I'll say data result dot data, okay. Yeah, so now what will happen is, it will basically true whenever we got the data here. We have to make the is loading false, okay. That's how the process. Let's go back. Let me just refresh. Now it's showing loading for in very instance of time, okay, because there is a small time for calling this API. Sometimes there are very big APIs, like you have to fetch lot of data. That time it will took so much time, so that we can show loading screen there, okay. So let's suppose, let me say set timeout for to show longer time. I'll do 3000 millisecond, and that time I'll just make it off, okay. Let's do this, okay. So to just show, I'm just adding the set timeout, okay, nothing else. Now you see loading is coming. After the API call is done, it will show us the user list, okay. So this is how we can do the loading thing, and this is how we can do the conditional rendering, okay. This is how we can do. And you can do ternary operator as well if you want. You just need to write return, and here what you can do is like is loading question mark. Here you can show h1 tag loading, else means this colon. I'll just comment on this one, it will do the same thing. Okay, let me refresh. You see loading, once it is done it will show us the users list. Okay, so ternary operator you have to use in the return, but if you are using if else means you have to write return condition. That's a must compulsory thing. Okay, so I'll just copy this again here and just comment on. Okay, so that you can reference from here. I'll just remove for now. I'll just have if condition only. Okay, so this is how we can do. Yes. So there is one package we have, or the library we can say in npm, which is very useful for the showing loading screens. Okay. So let me show you here. Here is the package. This is the Axios which we have just now see. We can fetch the APIs using Axios, fetch the data from Axios server, and this is the React Spinner. Okay. So React Spinner is a library which will provide various types of loading screens which we can use. Okay. So right now you can see here we have demo page. If we right click on open a new tab, and here you see these are all the loading screens. See, so these are predefined already. Okay, we just need to use it. Okay, so that's the beauty of ReactJS. There are already predefined components will be there. We just need to use it, and we don't need to do anything. Okay, so let's suppose clip loading. Okay, basically most of the people use this, right? So instead of opening it, I'll just go back and let's see how we can exactly use it. First, let's install this package. Okay, so I'll copy this link. Let's go back to our VS Code, and here I'll do one more terminal, open it, and let me paste it. Okay, it will install our package. Okay, so whenever the package is installed, just confirm in the package.json is it added or not. Okay, if it is not added, it means it will giving some problems to us. Okay, so you can go back and you can see React spinners. Okay, we can see this. Now let's see how we can use it. Okay, so usage also is very easy. We can go to the bottom. You see clip loader. Okay, it's taking clip loader from the this package. Okay, so basically whatever the name is, you can import that name and you can use it. So let's take example. Just copy this, import here. Let's import it here. Okay, this is the one thing, and the other thing what we can do is here you see clip loader. Okay, I'll just copy this clip loader, and the same thing I'll provide here. Okay, instead of h1 I'm providing this, and colors and all you can provide it. Here you see color, I'll just remove it for now. Loading, here it is asking for the loading. Okay, so what we can do is uh, like let's say let's comment on for now. Okay, let's go back how exactly it's working. Let's see. Okay, now you see it is coming, it's giving us loading screen. Okay, and this giving this, so the size is very much big. Okay, we can do this 50 and we should be good. Yes, you can see, and you can make it center to have like you can have css and all and make it center. You know how to center something, so that you can do. And colors and all you can get it from here basically. Okay, change color you can see here, and again I am not seeing any color to pick. Okay, let's use our application then. I'll just copy this, take a screenshot, go to Pickit, and let me paste it here and pick color. Okay, and this is what the color is. And let's come back. Here it was color is there, right? I'll provide this color. Let's see if it is changing the color. Let's refresh. Now it's changing the color. Okay, basically whatever color you provide here, it will get us here. Okay, let's try to use some other thing. Okay, let's use bounce loader. Okay, so let's go here. I'll just comment on this, import bounce loader. Okay, from the this, and you can do this as well. It's like going inside the slash and the try. You can just use curly braces and you can get it. Okay, and I'll just replace the name here. Okay, that's it. And let's see if it is giving us. Yeah, it's giving, but it's going here. Okay, the centering and all we have to do the css, but we are able to use the different loading screen from the React Spinner. Okay, so that easy it is to use a loading screen in our application. Okay, yes, so this is about the conditional rendering. We saw like how we can do the conditional rendering in the functional component. Also we saw different ways to do it, and also we saw the very nice package for our loading screens in React.js, which is React Spinner. So you can check that out as well. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing and give it a like. I'll be back with more content in the next video. Thank you.